My name is Alena and I am 19 years old. People my age often says that the internet connects us, make life easier, and people often doors the world. I used to believe that too, but no one talks about how choosing the wrong Wi-Fi can slowly disconnect you from your family, your dreams, and even from yourself. This is my story, a simple beginning. I grew up in a small, loving home. My parents were not rich, but they were kind. We didn't have the latest phones or fancy gadgets, but we had something better: time together. Dinner meant talking, evenings meant laughter, nights meant peace. When I turned 18 and started college, everything began to change. College life was exciting. New friends, new ideas, new freedom. Everyone around me talked about social media, streaming, online classes, and digital careers. At home, our internet was slow and limited. It worked fine for basic use, but for my new life, it felt like a cage. So one day, I convinced my parents to upgrade. Everyone studies online now, I said. I need fast internet, I said. It will help my future, I promised. They trusted me. That was the day we brought the wrong Wi-Fi into our home. Fast internet, slow life. At first, it felt amazing. Videos loaded instantly. Social media refreshed endlessly. I could talk to friends anytime, watch anything I wanted, and stay online all night. I felt powerful, connected, modern. But slowly, without realizing it, my life began to slow down. I stopped coming to dinner on time. I stopped helping my mother in the kitchen. I stopped talking to my father about my day, not because I didn't love them, but because the Wi-Fi never slept. The world behind the screen. Online, I was someone else. I smiled more. I laughed more. I edited my life into perfect pictures. Strangers liked my posts. People praised my thoughts. Some even said I inspired them. That attention felt good. Too good. I began living for notifications instead of real conversations. I measured my worth by likes, not by values. I stayed awake till 3 a.m., scrolling through lives that looked better than mine. And every morning I woke up tired, empty, and irritated. But I blamed college. I blamed stress. I never blamed the Wi-Fi. Invisible distance. One evening, my mother knocked on my door. "Alena, can we talk?" she asked softly. I replied without looking up from my phone. "Later, Mama, I'm busy." She stood there for a moment and then left. That moment should have warned me. My father stopped asking about my studies. My younger brother stopped waiting for me to play with him. Slowly, silently, a wall grew between us, made not of anger, but of signals and screens. We lived in the same house, but in different worlds. Friends, but alone. My online friends knew everything about me. My moods, my photos, my thoughts. But when I felt sad, none of them sat beside me. When I cried quietly at night, none of them noticed. One night, after hours online, I closed my phone and felt a sudden heaviness in my chest. The room was silent. The house was quiet, and I felt completely alone. That was the first time I wondered. Was I connected to the wrong thing? The fall. My grades began to drop. Assignments were late. Concentration was gone. My teachers noticed the change. I stopped reading books. I stopped writing. I stopped dreaming. I was always online, yet always behind. One day I failed an important exam. I came home, locked myself in my room, and cried for hours. My phone buzzed nonstop, but none of those messages mattered. For the first time, I turned off the Wi-Fi. The silence felt strange, uncomfortable, real, a hard conversation. That night, I went to the living room. My parents were sitting quietly. "I think I made a mistake," I said, my voice shaking. They looked at me, not angry, not disappointed, just concerned. "I think we chose the wrong Wi-Fi," I continued. "It gave me speed, but took my peace." My mother held my hand. My father listened without interrupting. That night, we talked for hours, without screens, without notifications, without noise. I felt lighter. Choosing again. The next day, I made a decision. I didn't cancel the internet completely, but I changed how I used it. No phone during meals, no Wi-Fi after midnight, no scrolling before studies, no replacing real life with virtual approval. It wasn't easy. The urge to check my phone returned again and again. Sometimes I failed, sometimes I slipped, but this time I was aware, and awareness changes everything. Slow healing. Weeks passed. My sleep improved. My mind felt clearer. I started reading again. Writing again, laughing again. I noticed small things. The sound of my mother's cooking, the calm in my father's voice, the excitement in my brother's stories. These were things no internet speed could give me. I still used Wi-Fi, but it no longer used me. The lesson. Now at 19, I understand something important. Not every fast connection is a healthy one. Not every signal brings clarity. Not every Wi-Fi is worth connecting to. Sometimes the wrong Wi-Fi doesn't just slow your device. It slows your growth, steals your focus, and quietly disconnects you from what truly matters. My message. I am Alena. I am 19. And I learned this lesson early before it cost me everything. Technology is a tool, not a master. Choose your connections wisely, because the strongest signal in the world means nothing if it disconnects you from your soul. Now, at 19, I understand something I wish someone had told me earlier. Not every fast connection is a healthy one. Not every notification deserves your attention. Not every online opportunity is worth your peace. Sometimes the wrong Wi-Fi doesn't just slow your device, it slows your growth. It steals your focus. It replaces real conversations with digital noise. And slowly, quietly, it builds distance between you and the people who love you most. The truth is, technology itself is not the enemy. It becomes dangerous only when we forget who is in control. I forgot for a while. I forgot that my mother's voice is more important than any ringtone. I forgot that my father's advice matters more than online opinions. I forgot that my brother's laughter is more real than virtual reactions. And worst of all, I almost forgot myself. Today, I still use the internet. I still study online. I still connect with the world. But I choose when to log in and when to log out, because I have learned something simple but powerful. Technology is a tool, not a master, and the strongest signal in the world means nothing if it disconnects you from your soul. Because sometimes the wrong Wi-Fi does not just take your time. It takes your discipline. It takes your focus. It takes your peace. At first it feels harmless. Just a few more minutes. Just one more scroll. Just one more video. But minutes turn into hours. Hours turn into nights. And nights turn into regret. You stop waking up with purpose. You start waking up with exhaustion. Your dreams become smaller. Your attention becomes weaker. Your patience becomes thinner. And the worst part? You don't even realize it's happening. The world online keeps moving fast. But inside you, everything becomes slow. Slow growth. Slow progress. Slow happiness. Until one day, you look in the mirror and see someone tired, distracted, lost. Not because life is cruel, but because you gave your energy to something that was never meant to own you. The wrong Wi-Fi doesn't shout. It whispers. It says, stay a little longer. Check one more time. Don't miss out. And slowly, without noise, it replaces real love with virtual attention, real ambition with digital distraction, real presence with empty scrolling. Your soul begins to feel heavy, not broken, just ignored. And when you ignore your soul for too long, you start feeling disconnected. Even when you are fully connected, that is the real danger. Not weak signals, not slow speed, but losing yourself while the bars show full. Because the strongest signal in the world means nothing if it disconnects you from your discipline, your family, your dreams, and your soul.